welcome back. Stas23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And today I have somewhat of a double unboxing. One's something I thought was pretty cool that I've used for a good little while. Both of these I picked up off of Amazon. And let's take a look at this one real quick. So what you have here is a HRC hardness tester. And it's not like the most accurate thing you can get in the world, but it'll give you an idea. So basically what you have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hardened files and 40 HRC. So the 40 is between 40 and 42. See, it shows you what they all are. And it goes all the way to 65 HRC. And the reason why I bought these, this is my second set. I lost my other ones during the move. But I bought these for just one, because I am a knife nerd, and two, whenever I test some of these knives, if the steel is performing way under what I think, what most of the other ones perform at, I will start with usually the 55, and then I'll go to the 60 HRC. And basically what happens is you can see how you're supposed to do it. And on this Ontario Rat 2, we're going to use the 55 HRC. So you take this corner right here, and if you go back and forth like that, and it scratches the steel, then that means that it's, in that range. If it doesn't scratch the steel, it's higher than that. So it's higher than 55 HRC on this one. And you can go up, but I don't want this video to be super long because the rest of it may take a minute. So it's super fun. If y'all want to see any, like a dedicated video on this, y'all just let me know. You can get this off of Amazon for like 50 or 60 bucks, I think. All right, so the next one is a knife. So it's another O knife, and it is the Zilla. So we're going to take a look at this. We're even going to take it apart. So if you want to see what it looks like on the inside, stay tuned. I just got this in about 20 minutes ago. Haven't not checked it out yet. But let's see. I know most people got theirs sent to them. I decided to pick mine up myself. So you get these little tokens. I do own the Beagle as well. I like this knife a lot. These are made for O knife by Kizer. So I know that this 154 CM is going to be good. I've already tested this one and stuff. I don't know if I've actually reviewed that one. But each one of the knives comes with these little challenge coin type things. And you have, what is that, an iguana or something? Yep, he looks like he's humping the knife. So put that over there. Pretty cool because the pouch even has a little slot for it. We'll put it back in there. I don't remember what the other one had. But here is the knife. Comes with a cleaning cloth as well in there. So this is a big old knife. Yeah, so it's definitely big. I figured this. It is a little weighty, but let's get a good flip. Ooh, nice flip. Nice broad blade, and it's in 154 CM. Nice satin finish on there. Even though I would have rathered a stone wash, but that's okay. You got peel ply G10 with a little bit of milling on it. Lanyard hole, black hardware. The Zilla. This is a gauge design. I do like the swedge. This blade shape reminds me of something. I don't know if it was an old Ganzo. Ooh, I like this new. This is a new pocket clip for Kizer. I like it. Got a little. Oh, I don't know how that's gonna work. Sitting on top of this milling, and yeah, that's gonna destroy the pocket. Access to the lock bar is good. Let's see. Yeah, it'll probably break in like pretty much all Kizers do. So, all right, let's break into it and see what the guts look like. All right, I got my T8, whatever, Mokutai, not Mokutai, whatever this stuff is, I forget. So we got T8 on the pivot. Let's break this loose. Oh, yeah. Feels like they got a capture pivot. That's always nice. Yep. Ooh, there's a lot of Loctite on this. Not really. But yeah, look in there. So we'll set that off to the side. should have brought my disassembly mat. Okay, usually when this one, you undo this one, it's usually smart to flip it over because these two are usually easier to break than the other side. I don't know if they put more Loctite on the other sides, but also T8, awesome to see. Yeah, that one had Loctite on it as well. Looks like you can swap the pocket clip for left-handed carry. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take off that pocket clip, it looks like, because it's spinning on the other side. Not a big deal. Or it's a pain, but it's not a big deal. So far, the screws have came off nicely. This is a Combat Beads driver, and I always use WeHa bits. Use quality bits if you're not wanting to strip something. Let's see, it says bottom one. That's something else I've noticed a lot too, is that sometimes they will alternate. Am I gonna need two T8s? All right, since one side's spinning, we got two T8s here. It's my Scout leather driver. That's why I keep multiple drivers. I don't have to swap out every 5 seconds. Okay, that was easy enough. And let's get into the guts of this knife. Put this over here, put that over here. And I usually let off the lock so it'll push those scales up, and voila. Oh, that's nice. We got multi-row bearings. Looks like it's fairly clean on the inside of there. Do have some, looks like some thick grease in there. Love the fact that, because this is what they used on the Towser K, those multi-row bearings, and they seem to get super smooth. So nothing out of the ordinary. This is kind of odd right here, how they have that, but I've seen that on a few. There is no detent ball ramp, but I don't think it's needed. It seemed like it cleared it pretty quick. All right, we're gonna give it a quick wipe down with microfiber cloth. Get the old grease out of there, and just in case there's any grime from, you know, the milling and stuff process in the machine, factory machine shop that they make these. And wipe this down, and I'll get the old, once I wipe off the majority of it, I usually get a alcohol swab and get the actual grease off, because this is not going to get it off. It'll get any dirt off, and then I come back with these alcohol prep pads. I find you can get them in boxes of 500 for fairly cheap. So let's get this. I usually wipe the bearings down really good, and what I do is I grab the bearing on one side and I spin it like this. That way you're getting all the old grease or whatever they have on it. So whenever you put your lube of choice, it doesn't react funny, because I've had that happen many times before. Before I did this, that the knife felt like it got the action was hindered a lot, and you know, I found that it was because it was mixing maybe grease with an oil, and they weren't really mixing well, causing it to be like a paste or something. And the reason I know that is because whenever I took the knife apart, it was like gelled up. So I like to make sure I get all that old grease off. And if you don't feel like doing that, yeah, it's perfectly fine. It might be just fine. I usually wipe these out with a Q-tip, but this is a very, very clean knife, and it's a brand new knife. So we'll just do a quick wipe, and I might do a little editing magic because this is probably rather boring. So I figured if y'all want to see it, I will give that to you when I can. Being that, just like the testing, I'm doing it anyway. So I wipe this down and use the alcohol pad to get any grease off that thread, because if I go to put thread locker back on, it won't stick and it won't work. It'll just cut through the thread locker. Okay, so let's put this bad boy back together. Pivot goes on this side. You can see that it's got a D-shaped pivot. And what I do usually that, and then usually pop that like that. All right, so I grabbed the lube that was closest to me, and for this one, we're gonna use KPL. So this is the regular. So I just put a little dot on both sides, and then I put a little bit on the pivot just to lubricate it a little bit. Any of the friction spots, I put a little bit of oil on it. Then I usually drop my bearing in there, spin it around to distribute that oil on all the bearings. Then I'll put a little drop on the actual blade side. But it's a big old blade. Drop the blade in, I hold it down, drop a little bit there, and drop that bearing in there. Spin it around, and once you do that, make sure I'm not missing anything. Then I pop the scale on. See how easy this one is. Yep, this one's fairly easy. Let the lock bar tension off so you make sure that pivot popped all the way through. And just be careful doing this. You got a sharp knife right here. Don't want to slice yourself open. And being this is a captor pivot, it's fairly easy to hold this in there. And I try, when possible, I try to assemble it with the knife and not in the lock position. That way it'll center up a lot easier, because when you have the lock open, it's pushing the scales in one direction because of the pressure that the lock's putting on it. So that could throw your centering off. I mean, there's ways to fix that after you put everything together. So whenever I need to do that, I will. And then whenever I'm tightening these up, I tighten them down, and then I loosen them. I come back off of them, probably, I'd say, 1/8 of a turn. Yeah, I forgot I'm gonna have to do that one, because I want to make sure that everything's in the right place before I lock everything down. Kind of like putting your tire, changing your tire on your car. Tighten up one side first. Do it in like a star pattern. You don't want any one side to be pinching down. I was telling Jared that on his live feed the other day. That's can be important, especially when the tolerances are a little off on a knife, or something's not ground properly. That kind of stuff can play a part. Okay, got a little bit of play in the blade. Go play. Let's see. Looks like it's perfectly centered. We'll put the clip on after. So now I can tighten up. Let's see, I'm gonna make sure. Yep, I can tighten up these screws. I think I might have tightened up that one just now. Tighten up that one. Tighten up that one. Yeah, this one right here needs to be tightened. So I'd love to hear y'all thoughts on these Oknife knives. They're a little pricey. I mean, they're competitive with most of the Kizers. But, Kizer is making their own knives. They don't have a middleman. So quick size comparisons of the knife. If you're wondering the overall size, it's just a wide knife. Here's a good one, probably the Kizer Roach, another wide knife. If this one had all the same stuff as the Roach, like the micarta and stuff like that, and it was as smooth as that, I would choose this one over the Roach, mainly because this one's in N690, and I don't really like their N690 much. Here's the off-grid Rhino, I think it is. So those are great size comparisons. I don't think, I got my Ontario Rat one here too. Could show y'all. So Ontario Rat 1's a long knife, but it's a little bit shorter than the Rat 1, but it's a much bulkier knife. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, what y'all think. If you picked one up, what you think about yours, or if you plan on picking one up. If y'all like these assemblies, let me know. Hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.